What is good, everybody? Man, it's your boy Jay in the building. We is back again with another video. So, are we gonna do this again? Like, are we right back to the same song like last year? Cause I heard it before. Last year's TCU, this year's Georgia Tech and Auburn. Okay, I want to. So, mind you, I saw this video yesterday. Well, I saw it on the timeline, but I didn't click on it. And then I saw more and more people talk about it. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and hear what these people got to say, man. Because I'm like, I thought it was BS when I saw it yesterday. So, I'm like, you know, and now more and more people are speaking about it. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I want to hear what this guy has to say about it. So let's get into it.
So I don't think Primetime would just leave Shedeur Sanders there, and I don't think he would leave Travis Hunter there. At least, that's what I thought at first.
All right, so we already capping. Come on, man. Hey, all right. So you only said Shedeur and Travis like his other son, Shiloh, ain't there. Like his youngest daughter ain't just committed to Jackson State. We already capping.
If you're a Jackson State or Primetime, a.k.a. Deion Sanders fan, this is where things start to get very, and I mean very interesting.
Dawg, come on, man. We gonna hear a bunch of cat.
I'm sorry, man. College football has got to be the only sport known to mankind where two head coaches at pretty big-time universities can already be fired going into week 4. Let me repeat that statement. It has only been 3 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, and 2 head coaches have already been fired. One of those head coaches being the loser, Scott Frost at Nebraska. We've already talked about that. And the newest one to bite the dust is Herm Edwards at Arizona State. Oh, man. I don't even know where to begin with Herm Edwards. There was rumors of him getting fired or let go over a year ago. It never really felt like Arizona State wanted to keep him in the first place. They wound up keeping him, and yeah, now he's gone. And now,
but damn, dog, like the way they fired him, you fire him like right after the game, like as he's walking off the field, you stop him before he even gets to the tunnel, and you fire him right there. Y'all don't think that's crazy? Cause I've never seen that before. I've never seen that. So that I thought that was absolutely insane.
What I think is the biggest news and the biggest headline is Georgia Tech. They're on the verge of firing their head coach. It's going to happen. We just don't know when. And it's looking like Mr. Deion Sanders may be getting a new job soon. Okay, let me go back on this statement. I'm not saying that. That's according to all the reports going on, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video.
I mean, he's saying that as if there weren't reports last year. Like, damn, just less than a year ago, and matter of fact, around this time last year, TCU came calling. They went as far as to say that they even interviewed him and say that they had a great interview. This happened last year, man. Like, come on, man.
Saw and heard these reports, Deion Sanders getting mentioned in some of these new jobs. I was like, whoa. Hold on. I mean this in the most respectful way possible. I don't think too many people around the country care too much about Scott Frost and Herm Edwards. Yes, of course, if you're a fan of these teams, it's something to keep up with, but outside of that, it's not a big deal. However, you know what I do think is a big deal? Mr. Deion Sanders, a.k.a. Primetime. There's something about him. Maybe it's the aura, maybe it's what he brings to the table, but everybody's keeping up with him. And a lot of people believe, just like this tweet says, Jackson State is only being talked about because of Deion Sanders.
That's a fact.
You can take this how you want, but that's 100% true. Do you really think people would be talking about Jackson State as much as they have in the past year or two if Deion Sanders wasn't there? No, there's not a chance in the world. I'm not trying to discredit Jackson State and what they've done over the years, but there's not a single chance, not even a slight chance, they would be getting this much exposure if Deion Sanders wasn't there. We'll talk about that a little later in this video. That's a little teaser for y'all, but we got to get down to the main topic, and that's about all the stuff going on with Deion Sanders potentially leaving. We're not doing no intro, none of that. It's simple. If you like college football content, we're on the road to 300K. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. It's free. All right, Matt, blah, blah, blah. Shut the crap up. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Real quick, before we get into all this Deion Sanders stuff, this is one of the crazy, well, not probably the craziest, but it's definitely One of the strangest videos I've ever seen.
Nah, it's the craziest
Somebody
thing. No,
captured footage of Herm Edwards
crazy,
getting fired before he even left the field on Saturday. I've heard stories of stuff like this before. I think Brett Bielema, the old Arkansas coach, this also happened to him. Okay, it's one thing to hear stories about this happening. It's another thing to actually see it, and that's one.
Yeah, that's what's insane about it. We see actual video.
We've seen everything good, yes, but at times it's also bad. You can't hide nothing. You can't hide nothing. That's a double negative. It's you can't hide anything. That's you get what I'm trying to say. I saw a lot of people on Twitter freaking out about this, saying that Arizona State, that's disrespectful. They need to be more mature. But just like this comment says, they're paying him millions of dollars. They can do whatever they want. I mean, I'm going to be honest. If you're paying me $1 million, I think you do have the right to fire me whenever and how.
Hey, yo, check this out, son. Check this out. I don't care how much money you pay me. There's some type of integrity that you got to keep. There's some type of respect that you gonna give me. I don't care how much money I'm making. I'm not gonna lose my respect. I'm not gonna change my character because I'm making millions of dollars. You ain't finna tell, you ain't finna, what? No. You're gonna keep some type of form of respect, because at the end of the day, I'm still a human being. I'm gonna react how I'm gonna react based off what you tell me. I don't care how much money I'm making. That millions of dollars don't change the person who you are. It only enhances who you are. That meant what? No, man, get out of here with that. No.
However you want to. You can embarrass me publicly. As long as you're giving me my millions of dollars, don't care. Maybe some of you have too big of a pride and ego and you're going to let that get in the way. I don't care. I'm not trolling. You could get on the microphone at halftime and say, Matt B. Great has officially been fired by Arizona State, and I would laugh it off. Some people do believe he got fired here. Some are saying there's no way they fired him there. It doesn't matter. Bottom line is he's gone now. There's only one question remaining. What's next for Arizona State? If you're a Jackson State or Primetime, a.k.a. Deion Sanders fan, this is where things start to get very, and I mean very interesting.
Like we ain't
The reason I'm laughing is because I'm excited for this, and I think it's awesome for the sport. Could you imagine the waves around the country it would make if Deion Sanders was the new Arizona State head coach? We've seen what he's done and is currently doing at Jackson State. It is hard to put it into words. It is remarkable. On a scale of 1 to 10, he's breaking that. He's at like an 11. And if you had to grade it from an F to A+, he's above A+. He's at an S. For those of you that don't know, an S is supposed to be the best of the best. It's better than an A+. Maybe some of y'all knew that. Maybe some of you didn't. Anyways, doesn't matter. It's going to move on. Do I think Mr. Primetime would leave his beloved Jackson State, where he's got a nice home and things are going so great, to go to Arizona State? I don't think so. But I want you to pay attention to this. If you don't listen to another single thing I say in this video, please listen to this. Arizona State has one, and it's the only one thing that Deion Sanders wants that Jackson State cannot give him: money. They have money, and they have a lot of it to...
Fam, Hey, yo, fam. If it was about the money, yo, he would have stayed at the NFL Network. He wouldn't know when it, fam. If it was all about the money, he would have stayed looking for a coaching job at any Power 5 school, even when they kept denying him year after year after year. He kept. I don't know if he's gonna mention about how many times he tried to get a coaching job at a Power 5 school and he got denied. I don't know if he's going to mention that. But for him to say that the money is going to be the difference between him staying at Jackson State and him going to No, come on, man. Come on. You got to be better
to give out. Obviously, I'm not saying Arizona State can give out money like a USC, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, but they're pretty close, and it's for dang sure not even comparable with the Jackson State money. Whoa. Hold on. I know what you're sitting there saying. Yo, Matt, Primetime would never do that to Jackson State. He's not in it for the money. He wants to change these kids' lives. You are 100% right on that statement. I've also stated this on this channel if you've watched my videos about Primetime. He's not in it for the money. He's at Jackson State because he loves the program and he loves the kids and he wants to make a difference, and I respect that so much. Most of my HBCU fans that you've watched my previous videos, you know how I feel about Primetime. I love what he's doing. Unfortunately, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, money is a huge factor for anybody and everybody. It straight up is, and if somebody...
All right, let's start right there, because this is cap 2. So, Apparently, you didn't watch his press conference when he first entered, when he first got to Jackson State, or you may have missed interviews of him explaining why he's coaching at an HBCU. Period. But it's never been about the money since he's entered Jackson State. Like, cause if it was about the money, he would have stayed at the NFL Network. Why would it be about the money now? And if it was about the money, he would just be taking these money games against these Power 5 schools. If it was like that. About the money. Come on, man. Come on.
Tells you
we
it's not a big factor to them. They're straight up lying. Am I saying that Deion Sanders needs money? No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is money runs the world, and if you don't want to believe that, you're just living in a oblivious reality. You got to come back down to earth. Money runs the world. You can believe what you want, but that's a cold hard fact. Why do you think you go to work every single day? Because you need money. Let me also give you another cold hard fact and some insight. Deion Sanders is only making $300,000 per year, in which he is already donating half of that to the football facilities at Jackson State. So technically, he's only making $150K per year. $150K per year? Yeah, that's pretty good money for your average Joe.
So you think that's all he's making? So you think hold on. So y'all mean to tell me that y'all look at that contract, right? And y'all think that's what he's worth? Y'all think that's what he's making? Come on, y'all. Do y'all really think that that's all he's making? For real? Come on, man. Like, y'all not that serious. Like, you can't be serious, right? All right, look. If y'all think that that's what he's making, if y'all think that's all he has, and if you think that's all he's making, all right, then I don't need to say nothing else. But come on, y'all. Let's be real. Be real. But we know. Come on, man.
Joe?
Come on.
But compared to what the big boys are making, Dabo Swinney, Lincoln
man.
Riley, Ryan Day, Nick Saban, that is chump change. All these top coaches right now, they're making $10 million. And I don't think Deion Sanders is a top head coach right now, but he's definitely better than an average coach. I would say right now he's definitely better than Scott Frost at Nebraska, and they paid him $15 million just to leave. Whoa. Hold on. I already know what you're saying.
And hold up. And let's check this out for a moment. You don't think Shedeur Sanders has already seen $1 million? Already? You don't think Shiloh has already seen $1 million? I don't understand how you're gonna pull up those coaches' numbers and think that, hold up, matter of fact, you don't think that Coach Sanders is making that now? You don't think he has that now? How much, yo, in the comment, how much do y'all think Coach Prime is really worth? How much he really has? Y'all don't, come on, man, come on. This guy is considered the best one of the best defensive players of all time in NFL. He's an NFL Hall of Famer. He has endorsements out the ass. His son got many endorsements out the ass. Y'all, how much money do you think he really has, bro? Honestly. Y'all look at that contract and y'all think that's all he has? Come on, man. Y'all, come on. Man.
Again, I hear you and I understand it. Well, Matt, Deion Sanders, he's not in it for the money. Why are you talking about it? I agree with you, but I want you to come to terms with it's not about the money, it's about the principle. It doesn't matter if my friend steals $10,000 from me or what.
Hey, principles. Exactly. Principles. Exactly. So, why don't we add another adjective in there? How about respect? How about character? The very thing that he preaches to his players. The very same thing that he preaches to the fan base. We're going to talk about that at the end of this video. We're going to talk about that because there's a lot to unpack.
One penny from me. It's the principle that you stole. I don't care that it was a penny. You stole from me. I can't trust you anymore. You see what I'm saying? You don't think Deion Sanders sees all these guys like Scott Frost Nick Saban, Dabo, and says, hey, I'm doing just as good as them. I want to get paid the same. Of course he does. He's competitive. There's one thing about Deion Sanders, I myself, and even you watching this, you can relate to, or some of you. He is a competitor, and he wants to win and dominate in every aspect of life. It's not about the money, it's more about the principle. He feels like he's the best, so he wants to get paid like the best. For all of my Jackson State HBCU fans out there, can you answer this question to me? Let me know in the comments. Do you think Deion Sanders is only worth $300K a year?
Do you think that's all he's making? Yo, do you think $300,000 is all he's making a year? Yo, come on. Oh man, come on, man.
I would say right now where he's at in his coaching career, he's worth about $4 or $5 million. We can agree with that. So right now, as it stands, he's not just getting underpaid; he's getting heavily underpaid. I'm going to give you a great comparison and an example. Nick Saban, I don't know what his net worth is, but he has tons of Mercedes-Benz dealerships. He's probably worth about $400 million. Right now, if you liquidated his house, cars, dealerships, and all of the money he's made from his contracts, his net worth is probably about $400, maybe $500 million. It's the same thing with Deion Sanders. Do you think Nick Saban needs or wants some money? No, it's the principle. He doesn't need to be the highest paid coach in college football. It's the principle of it. He's the best, so he should get paid like the best. I hope that resonates with the people trying to say, well, Deion doesn't need the money. Well, guess what? Neither does Nick Saban. Moving along with this video, it doesn't just stop there. Georgia Tech and Auburn are now being rumored to be in the hunt for Deion. And to me, and it's why I saved it for last, could you imagine Deion Sanders at Auburn? That's got to be one of the most fascinating stories I've ever seen. If I'm an Auburn fan, I'm not, but if I was, I would love that. And as an SEC fan myself, I would love for Deion to be in the conference. You know why? Because I don't care if Deion is at Jackson State, and I don't care if they're playing cupcakes and they're beating all these doo-doo teams. I think he's one of the top 15 coaches in the game right now. He has one thing that many people don't have in life, and you can't learn it. He has the it factor. He had the it factor as a player, and he now has it as a coach. You got to understand and realize a head coach, most of them, they're not even calling the defensive plays. They're not even calling the offensive plays. A head coach is there to lead. He's there to be the leader of the team, the captain of the ship. And when it comes to being a leader, I'm not too sure if there's a better one than Primetime himself. He knows what it takes. How does he know? Why does he know? Oh, well, maybe it's because he's been there before. He's been in the player's shoes. Auburn's current head coach right now is Brian Harsin, and I think Deion is already 2 times better than him. Do I think the athletic director would have the nerve and the guts to hire Deion so early on in his coaching career? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I did find it rather interesting, though. Auburn's already in the mix. The one team that seems to be the most interested at this current moment is Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is a complete crap show. If I'm Deion, I'm not even considering that, but hey, maybe he will because they can offer money. If I'm him, I got Georgia Tech on the blacklist. That's just not a school you want to go to. I would only consider Auburn and Arizona State. Because at least if you go to Auburn, yeah, you're going to be in a tough conference, but you're going to have some talent to compete. If you go to Georgia Tech, you're going to have to rebuild and rebrand that program from the bottom up, and it's going to take 4, 5, 6 years. In Arizona State, the benefit to going to the Pac-12, that is a weak and a sorry conference. Going back to this, though, there is one thing and one major, and I mean a major factor I haven't even brought up, and that is his son, Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur is a sophomore quarterback, which means he still has to finish out this year, and he's going to have more than likely 2 more years at Jackson State and in college football. To go along with that, we all know the prized possession, Travis Hunter, the only reason he went to Jackson State is because of Primetime. So I don't think Primetime would just leave Shedeur Sanders there, and I don't think he would leave Travis Hunter there. At least, that's what I thought at first.
All right. Let's stop this video, okay? This, come on. This is full of cap. All right. You know what? Let's talk for a minute. All right. First of all, I knew this was cap from the title, right? But the more and more he spoke, the more cap I heard. All right. So let's just say, for instance, right? He ain't say not a damn thing of importance. He ain't say nothing. All right, so let's say this. He failed to mention the amount of money that the city of Jackson made just last year. Failed to mention all of the interviews, all of the press conferences to where he talks about Hell, we'll just start with the names on the back of the jerseys. He's talking about bringing 4- and 5-star recruits to Jackson State, which he did. All of the times he's talked about creating a powerhouse, which he did. Matter of fact, he's not only brought in his own coaching staff, he's added positions to the coaching staff that I'm sure nobody else in the SWAC has. And yes, everybody in the SWAC is behind. But that don't necessarily mean that he's gonna take a job at another school because everybody else in the SWAC is behind. That's on everybody else in the SWAC. Because eventually, if Jackson State continues to move how they're moving, he could potentially take Jackson State and bring them to the SEC. And guess what? He'll be able to make millions while still being at Jackson State. You don't think he'll be able to make as much money as some other coaches while still being at Jackson State if they was at another conference? You don't think that would happen? And he ain't mentioned not one time Shiloh, his other son. He ain't mentioned not one time his youngest daughter, who just committed to Jackson State to play basketball. Like he failed to mention how much money the city of Jackson made, and with the time that he spoke about the money games, and him speaking about how he hates the money games, the fact that he's talked about the names on the back of the jerseys, and he's talked about culture, and all the time he spoke about being on the front line for HBCUs. As a matter of fact, ain't nobody talking about the reason why he even chose to coach at an HBCU in the first place. So let's speak about it. Does anybody remember the name George Floyd? Does anybody remember him? Rest in peace, George Floyd. Now, before he took the job at Jackson State, he was interviewing for coaching jobs at other Power 5 schools, and they were denying him. That's the reason why he was coaching at Shedeur Sanders High School in the first place. Otherwise, he would have been coaching college football. So the fact that he kept getting denied, that was the reason why he was coaching high school, and he was at the NFL Network. I'm sure he was making well over six figures. So then the moment that the George Floyd thing happened, he spoke about, look, I'm coaching at HBCU because, for one, we need a change, not in HBCU culture, but in the black community. Because he got tired of us blacks getting killed by white cops for no reason. And that's what sparked him to make a change. That's what sparked Eddie George to come to the HBCU. That's what sparked Hugh Jackson. That's what sparked Eddie Robertson at Alabama State. And do you think that, let's just say, for instance, he does take a Power 5. He was offered a position at a Power 5 school. Do you think he would have been able to hire his own coaching staff? Do you think he'll be able to brand out the school brand even more the way he's doing at Jackson State now? Do you think he would have full, total control of football operations like he has now? Do you think he'll be able to do that at whatever school he went to? Me personally, I don't think so. I honestly don't believe that he will be able to expand his brand the way he's doing at Jackson State now. He's been making money since college. Before it was even a thing. He been making money playing professional sports since he was in college. And you don't think he has a hand in nothing? You don't think he has a hand in investments? You don't think that he has millions circulating within the household? Cause I'm pretty sure Shedeur Sanders got I'm pretty sure he touched $1 million. especially with the amount of NIL deals that he had. How do you think he was able to give the entire team headphone Dre beats? Do y'all know how much them headphones worth? Fam, what? How do you think he was easily able to give the entire team headphones? This is the same song, bro. We saw the same song last year, around the same time when they're about to go up against Valley State. We heard this already, bro. We heard this already. I don't understand. I don't understand it, bro. This is cat, man. This is cat. This is cat. I don't believe he's going. That's just my personal opinion. And if I'm wrong, I'll be the first person to say I'm wrong. I wouldn't be mad if y'all spam me in my comments. But this is cat, bro. This is cat. This is like the only word I can describe the rumors. To Auburn, now it's Georgia. Come on, man. Yeah, this is cat, bro. Yeah, I couldn't finish this because this is cat, dog. Come on, man. But yeah, man. Shout out to and shout out to this guy Matt, man. I do watch some of his stuff. His stuff is entertaining, So there was some stuff that I agree with in here. That Jackson State probably wouldn't be relevant without Deion Sanders. I can't be mad at him for saying that. But for him to say that he want to take this because of the money, look, I'm pretty sure they offer him millions. I'm pretty sure they offer him to be the highest paid coach. I'm pretty sure. But he wouldn't be able to have the power at them schools like he does at Jackson State. Because I'm pretty sure he controls everything. And hold up, before I end this video, let me end it with this. Jackson State, he pulled Jackson State from the Southern Heritage Classic with 2 years left on the contract. With 2 years left, they are getting sued. They will have to pay over $1 million for the next 2 years. Do you think he's gonna take a job at any of them schools and leave Jackson State to pay for that when he was the person that pulled him in the first place? No, come on, man. We gotta be smarter than that. There is no way he's gonna take any job and leave Jackson State paying the $1 million within the next 2 years when he was the person that pulled them out of that contract in the first place because he saw negatives in it. He saw way too many negatives in it. He's the one that speaks about Jackson not reaping the benefits because they're playing in too many classics and not reaping the benefits. They don't play in enough home games to reap enough revenue. It don't make sense, bro. Come on, man. We all got to be smarter than that, dog. But look, shout out to Jackson State, man. Shout out to Deion Sanders because he's not going nowhere. He's not.